Alright, so let's get straight into this because this is actually kind of huge. Norman Reedus was out at Comic-Con in Spain, and during one of his interviews, he basically dropped something that every Walking Dead fan has been waiting to hear. He said straight up that it's true. Conversations are happening with Andrew Lincoln about a reunion. Yep, Rick Grimes. That's the big thing right now. Now, he didn't go into crazy detail, but just the fact that he admitted those talks are going on is enough to set everything on fire. That's confirmation that AMC and Andrew Lincoln are at least in discussions, and we all know what that means. It's not just rumors anymore. It's being talked about behind the scenes, which means they're figuring out how to actually bring Rick back in some form. This also opens the door for a ton of speculation. If Rick is coming back, then obviously it's not going to be some random cameo. It's going to be a reunion that matters. That probably means getting the core group back together, and it raises the question, where would it happen? If Norman is saying reunion, it feels way more likely that the characters eventually make their way back to America. A Rick reunion overseas would feel too limited, but bringing everyone back stateside sets things up for that big payoff fans have been waiting on. Let's be real, AMC has to be looking at this as a huge event. They know if Rick Grimes officially comes back, it's going to be massive. This could easily be something they announce at New York Comic Con, or maybe even a Walking Dead 15th anniversary event. Those are the perfect places to drop a bombshell like this. Even if they don't confirm it right away, the fact that conversations are happening means an announcement has to be on the horizon, whether that's later this year or early next year. The exciting part is thinking about what this reunion could actually look like. Imagine Rick finally standing next to Daryl again. Imagine Rick and Michonne back with the main group. Even Rick crossing paths with Maggie, Negan, or Carol. There's so much unfinished business between all of them. The emotional weight of those reunions would be insane. Honestly, it could be the biggest Walking Dead moment since the show first blew up. So yeah, Norman Reedus saying this out loud pretty much confirms the ball is rolling. It's not just fan theory anymore, it's something AMC is actively working on. Whether it's one season, multiple seasons, or a giant event series, the fact that Andrew Lincoln is part of the conversation, again, means we could finally get the proper ending this franchise deserves. Bottom line, Rick Grimes' return isn't just wishful thinking anymore. It's in the works. The only question left is when they're going to make it official. What makes it so wild is the timing. Think about it. AMC already announced that the Daryl Dixon show is wrapping with season 4. That leaves a wide open lane for something new. And what better way to fill that gap than by bringing Rick Grimes back? It feels way too perfect to be a coincidence. And Norman Reedus didn't just vaguely hint at it, he literally said the word reunion. That's not the kind of word you throw around lightly when it comes to this franchise. Reunion means characters meeting again, storylines colliding, and a payoff that's been teased ever since Rick disappeared back in season 9. Let's not forget, Andrew Lincoln already dipped his toes back into the universe with The Ones Who Live. That was proof he's willing to return. And honestly, it felt like the warm-up act. Fans loved seeing him again, but everyone knew deep down that the real story isn't finished until Rick is back with the original survivors. If AMC plays this smart, they'll treat it like their Avengers moment, slowly bring all the scattered characters back together. And when Rick finally reunites with everyone, it'll hit so much harder. Imagine the marketing alone. Trailers, posters, interviews, everything would revolve around Rick's big comeback. Another thing to think about, Rick never really got closure with most of the group. His so-called death left so many relationships hanging in the air. Michonne went looking for him. Daryl carried the weight of losing him. Maggie, Carol, even Negan, they all had unfinished chapters with Rick. A reunion gives AMC the chance to finally wrap those threads in a way that actually feels satisfying. And if we're being real, AMC needs this. The Walking Dead franchise has its ups and downs, and fans have been burned before with spin-offs that didn't quite hit the mark. But a Rick Grimes return? That's guaranteed hype. People who stopped watching years ago would tune back in just to see him again. What's also interesting is how they'll structure it. Would they do a limited event like 6 or 8 episodes, or go all in and give us a full multi-season arc? Personally, I think 6 episodes wouldn't be enough. Rick deserves something bigger, something that feels like the final chapter of a saga, not just a side story. The other big question is, how soon? If Norman is already saying conversations are happening, then they're past the what if stage. They're in the how do we actually do this stage. That could mean scripts are being drafted, schedules are being checked, and deals are being worked out. An announcement could honestly come at any moment, and when it does, fans are going to lose it. Social media will explode, and AMC will finally have the momentum it's been chasing since the flagship show ended. Rick Grimes is the face of this franchise, and bringing him back will instantly reignite that old Walking Dead energy. So yeah, Norman Reedus might have just given us the biggest clue yet. Rick's return isn't just a dream anymore, it's a conversation happening behind closed doors. And if AMC follows through, we're looking at one of the most epic reunions in TV history. The only thing left now is to wait. When's it going to happen, and how big will it be? One thing I keep thinking about is how AMC will frame the story. Will they pick up right where the ones who live ended? Or will they time jump it a bit to make the reunion even more dramatic? A lot of fans probably wouldn't mind skipping ahead a few years if it means seeing Rick suddenly walk back into the lives of Daryl, Maggie, Carol, and the rest. That shock factor would be insane. And it's not just about shock value, there's real emotional weight behind this. Rick was the glue that held the group together for nearly a decade. Without him, everyone's kind of drifted, went their own way, or fell into conflict. Bringing him back gives the writers a chance to tie up all those loose ends and bring the story full circle. Think about the dynamics, too. Rick with Negan, that's unfinished business. Rick with Judith and RJ, that's family closure. Rick with Daryl, that's brotherhood on another level. Every single reunion has the potential to carry a different kind of punch, and that's why fans are so locked in on this. It's not just about Rick showing up, it's about what it means for everyone else. And honestly, this could be AMC's last big chance to give the Walking Dead universe a proper ending. The franchise has been going strong for over a decade, but even the most loyal fans know it can't last forever. Wrapping things up with Rick at the center would feel like closing the book in the best possible way on a character who started it all. At the end of the day, Norman Reedus confirming these conversations changes everything. It shifts the idea of Rick's return from a fan fantasy into an actual possibility being worked out in real time, and that means it's only a matter of when, not if. Until then, all we can do is speculate. But one thing's for sure, when Rick Grimes finally makes his return, it's going to be the Walking Dead event of the decade. The crazy part is, this isn't just exciting for longtime fans, it could also bring in a brand new audience. Younger viewers who maybe never watched the original run but heard about Rick Grimes could finally jump in, knowing this is the big reunion event everyone's been waiting for. It has the potential to pull back old fans while also creating new ones, which is exactly what AMC needs to keep this universe alive. And if AMC nails this, it won't just be another spin off or side project. It'll be the Walking Dead story everyone points to years from now, the one where Rick finally came back and the survivors reunited. That's legacy material. That's the kind of move that could make the franchise feel legendary again, not just another long running zombie show. But anyway, y'all, I'll see you in the next one.